Hello, my name is Dante Renee, and welcome to the 10 Room Bizarro YouTube page where I talk about films that I believe need to be talked about more. Like tonight's film, Private Vices, Public Virtues. Here it is. This is the limited edition Blu-ray that can still be bought. This is where I got it. I got it on Mondo Macabre, BigCartel.com. I believe they're pronounced Mondo Macabre, Macabro. Mondo Macabro, and this is their Blu-ray. You can see the back here, limited edition, even has a number, limited edition right there. And this is a movie from 1976, and it is done by Miklos Janksko. Not sure if I'm pronouncing his name correctly. And it says, there's a quote, a review quote on the front of the Blu-ray. It says, an extraordinary multi-sexual erotic rhapsody. Private Vices, Public Virtues. Beautiful artwork on the cover there. And this is a film from 1976 that is based on a historical incident, a historical occurrence, and it basically is in one location, outdoors and indoors, at a beautiful type of estate. And it is a period piece of sorts, definitely a period piece with the outfits, the clothing, the hairstyles, and a heavy dose of the erotic and the sexual and the historical story that it is based upon, dealing with rebellion and power and rule and sexuality, all mixed into this cauldron of mid-70s wildness and surreal rhapsody of erotic insanity and beauty. And this is really an art house sexploitation journey based on a historical incident. So let's get into this film right off the bat. Private Vices, Public Virtues. We're going to start off with the music here. The music in this film, there is music throughout this entire film for the most part. And the music reminded me a lot of Alejandro Jodorowsky's films, predominantly I would say El Topo, and it's really interesting. It has a period piece type of feel, and there are a lot of live musicians playing music throughout the film. And this film plays like a dream. It doesn't play by conventional plot devices, conventional story devices. I mean, even people who are familiar with history would be pissed off by this film, most likely, because this is a film that is done in an avant-garde type of manner, where the story is expressed in ways that Hollywood would never express them, and it is through art, and it is through beauty and style. And as I've said many times before, the style is the substance in this film. The music has a strong period piece type vibe. There's a lot of guitar work. There's a lot of percussion and old instruments, old instrumentation to the music. And then we also have some sections of some very mystical, soothing sounding singing in different languages throughout the film. And there are times when characters are singing nursery rhymes in English. And music plays a very, very large part in this film. And not only is it live in the film, and not only is it background in the film, it is constantly, in some ways, I almost think that it's constantly live in the film. It's constantly happening somewhere on the screen or somewhere in the location of the film. And there are times when the characters are singing to each other and all together. So there's music plays a very, very strong function, and with music also sound design. There are sections of the film that become silent, and the silence in Private Vices, Public Virtues, the silence plays so powerful, so much stronger, because the majority of the film is this jovial period piece type music, and at times also that mystical guitar singer-songwriter music that gives you kind of these different ranges of emotion, so that when all of a sudden we have silence, it's deafening in the film. When we look at the style, oh my gosh, I mean, you know, the artwork for the cover of this is amazing. When we look at the cinematography and the style of this film. I mean, this is a film, a lot of regards, stylistically reminded me of the surrealist, reminded me of even elements of Walerian Boracek, also reminded me of Alejandro Jodorowsky and things like that. Jodorowsky. I might not be pronouncing these names correctly. So there's these elements of that, and beautiful. There's this beautiful slow motion bubble sequence. I've never seen anything like it before, with kind of light flares off the bubbles popping, and just this is a very simple environment. It's a very simple. I mean, it's a beautiful estate or mansion with beautiful wild grounds around it, the grass, the trees, and outside there will be tables out there, there will be the chairs out there, there will be things happening outside that would almost there's no difference between the indoors and the outdoors in this film. There's no difference. And this film plays like a dream, without a doubt. It plays like a, it's hard to describe, an artistic dream. This film plays like an artistic dream, and the cinematography plays it like that. And the cinematography is gliding and moving amongst the trees and amongst the characters sexually, and showing, right when you think that there's a kind of a beauty, just this high end beauty to the filmmaking and to the nudity and to everything else, that all of a sudden the camera starts to leer at times, and it starts to show some things that are very disturbing, but in a jovial type of manner. The camera will have things kind of moving in front of it, so you can barely make out something, and then you can see that mask in the background kind of gliding through the bodies. The camera has a lot of energy at times. There's a lot of dancing in this film, and there's a dance sequence that is wildly filmed, and the energy amongst the people dancing is captured. It's captured, and even in there's this almost this soft type of light. There's this, I would say the vast majority of the film is in the daytime. So you're getting this beautiful light, beautiful water. And of course the bodies, the male and female bodies in this film, are the subjects of the art, just like nature, the trees, and just like, the anything, and it's all one. And I will say this too, very interestingly enough, there's not a strong focus on the architecture of this property, it seems. The focus is on the bodies and on the nature, but predominantly on the humans, on the bodies. There's even some monkeys in this film, and this, sexually speaking, this film has full frontal nudity, lots of male nudity, lots of female nudity. I would almost say, I mean, the most full penis that I've seen in quite some time in a film. And this is a film that sexuality is the core, but it's part of the rebellion of the film, rebellion of the story, and also the artistic beauty of the film and of the story. So there is a ludicrous quality at times to the nudity, but then a lot of the time it is, as I said, natural and artistic, and then also sexual. There are near the very, very near the end of the film, that's where there are some very intense sex scenes, implied, it seems, or not. I mean, it almost seemed pretty like something was going on. And there's also some kissing the penis a little bit, and also some stroking of a penis by two people that you would not expect. There's a lot of freedom in the sexuality in this film. There's a lot of freedom. Probably this is definitely a freedom dream. If you're going to say anything about this film, it's a freedom dream. There was a free love would be too simple to describe the sexuality of this film. There are, we have male, female, and I don't want to give away a lot of things, but those lines get blurred as well in this film, which could be quite shocking to some people. There's even some bestiality in this film, incest,
homosexuality, lesbianism. It's all the gender lines are being blurred in this film tremendously so, and the film sexually is um, erotic, but also shocking and disturbing. Um, there's even a rape scene that is extremely disturbing in light of the gender roles of the film. Um, there is quite a bit of chaos in the movie and some sexual violence that is not shown too violently in a way. This is a very complex film in many regards, and violently speaking, as I mentioned that, I mean, this is not a film with blood. This is not a film but there is looming violence, looming rage throughout the film, and also rage expressed through rebellion in the film. But there is violence, and as I said, sexual violence that you are not prepared for or accustomed to cinematically or in your day-to-day life, hopefully. Um, and there is an eruption, and there's an eruption of some violence in the film that has been looming. But this is quite a freedom dream. If I'm going to mention, how do you describe this film? It is a freedom dream, um, using sexuality in light of a historical context and giving you something that is slightly beyond the limits and surreal, um, but very much so real, as the characters are the ones shooting off the fireworks. They have the fireworks. That is real, but it creates a natural environment, bodies and nature that seems very dream surreal. This is Private Vice's Public Virtues right here, folks, and this is put out by Mondo Macabro right there. You can see some. And yes, we do have that actress there from Salon Kitty, and I believe her name is Teresa Ann Savoy. She's been in a lot of things. She might shock some of her fans in this particular film. That's all I'm going to say. Yeah, this was quite a unique film. If you're into sexploitation, this film will challenge you. If you're into art house, this film will challenge you. If you're into erotic, this film will challenge you. And if you are into historical based films, you might not like this film at all. This film will challenge you. This is Private Vice's Public Virtues. Thank you so much for watching the 10 Room Bizarro YouTube page, where I talk about films that I believe need to be talked about more, like this one. Please feel free to check out all my other reviews in this YouTube page. Tons of Jess Franco, sexploitation, exploitation, horror, erotica, adult, underground, bizarre. It's all here. Anything that I think needs to be talked about more. And please feel free to check out my own personal films at youtube.com/poopy diarrhea. Thank you and good night.